Y'all been watching me cut out the pieces for the garden quilt. Here's our patchwork that's gonna go in between each applique. Let's go make it. I'm starting with 27 pieces, 2.5 inches wide by 6.5 inches long. Now this was a jelly roll, which are the 2.5 inch strips. They look like this. They come in a roll like this. But they're pre-cut, 2.5 inch strips. So I just cut them 6.5 inches, okay? And I have 27 of them. The first thing I'm gonna do is sew 3 rows of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna have 3 rows of 9. And then I'm gonna sew those 3 rows together. So I'm gonna start by taking one piece, laying it pretty side to pretty side, and I'm gonna sew right here. After I sew that, I'm gonna open it up, and then I'm gonna lay it over the next piece. And I'm gonna sew that pretty side to pretty side. I'm gonna do that until I have 9 in a row, and I'm gonna do that 3 times. So I'll have 9, 9, 9. 1/4 inch seam, back stitch when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so. I'm putting these pieces in between the applique squares on the garden quilt, but you could use this same process in this same style patchwork for any quilt. This is a great project for a jelly roll. So if you have one that you love and you've been waiting for the perfect project to do it, this is it. Choose an applique set that you love that goes with the jelly roll that you already have and make this quilt. I can't wait to see what y'all make, but you already know whatever you make. Be sure to email it to me at hometownquiltcompany@gmail.com. I want to see, and so does everybody else. These garden templates are available at hometownquiltcompany.com along with a whole bunch of other sets. Choose what you like. Make what you want. Nobody's the boss of you unless you have 3-year-old twin girls, and then they're definitely the boss of you, or that's how it's working in my house currently. So I sewed them in 2s, and then 2s into 4s, and 4s into 8s, and now I have 8. But remember, I need 9. So I'm going to lay them out and see what needs to happen, because I have to add 1 strip to each row. I kind of just really don't want the same colors to be next to each other, but I'm also not that sensitive, and if they are, that's perfectly fine too. So now I've decided what it's going to look like. I'm going to add this piece to the bottom of each of the rows, and then I'm going to iron it. Y'all do yours, iron yours, and meet me right back here. I didn't, but you could definitely lay all of your strips out exactly like you want them and pick them up and sew them. I just tried to sew mine together, not the same colors, and then go back and not sew the same colors together so that I could sew 2s and 4s and 8s. I'm back. Okay, we have 3 rows of 9. Oh my goodness, y'all, it's so cute. Bum, bum, bum. And that's how mine are going to go together. The next thing I'm going to do is fold this over like this, pretty side to pretty side. I'm going to sew all the way down. After I've done that, I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to lay this one pretty side to pretty side and sew all the way down. Then I'm going to iron it, and we're going to be done. I'm not a pinner. I just don't love it. I don't do it unless I absolutely have to. But if you're a beginner, I would recommend pinning at every seam so that your seams line up. That's going to be the easiest way for you to make sure that all of your seams line up. And when you iron it, just make sure that your seams lay in one direction or the other. They don't have to be open. That's what they used to tell you, but we don't do that here. We just iron ours to one side or to the other side. Look at what you just made. Oh my goodness. Now this has some bright colors on it. The other one we made for our garden quilt was a little more floral. This would be precious, or the other one would be precious. So I cut out enough appliques for 2 garden quilts. The star is going to be one, and then this patchwork is going to be the other. So when I say patchwork, it doesn't necessarily mean just 5-inch squares, although 5-inch squares are perfectly fine. But you do what you like. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.